'Cause said I gotta make a plan, gotta do what's right. Can't run around in circles if I wanna build a life. I don't wanna make a plan for a day far away. While I'm young and unable, all I wanna do is farm. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with the VeVe, OMI, Definity, Devi, daCAT, SHIRO update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. All right, here we go. Not a crazy amount to go over today, but a bit. VeVe sales rise despite lower users. Yeah, so there is a, I guess there's levers, but there's something called customer retention strategies, or I forget what I wrote on X, customer lifetime value strategies. And it's similar to what I think FigPin does, where they say, hey, we have a certain amount of users. Let's try to maximize those that UX, that user experience, so that they want to spend more time here. Because there's a, have you ever, and maybe you feel this way as well, have you ever heard somebody say, why are there so many damn streaming networks? There's Netflix, there's Hulu, there's Disney Plus, there's Peacock, there's HBO Max. Like, they shouldn't be able to do this. Can't they make just one streaming service for everything? Back in the day, it was cable, and then you had satellite, and now you have all this stuff. And it's, in an ideal world, yeah, there'd be a one-stop shop where you had one thing and everything, you know, you could do that. But that's, unfortunately, that's just not the way the world works. And you have to have that. If any one company could do that, they would do it. They would license everything. Every new piece of content would go on this one place. Unfortunately, multiple companies have that idea. Yeah, we want to become the largest streaming network ever. Any new thing that comes out is going to be out on our network. One, there's anti-monopoly laws. Two, that like that type of thing is just impossible, because so many people will be like, all right, well, this new thing, we're going to create this ourselves. Like Netflix, yeah, they did what VeVe did, and they just, anything that was anything, you know, what was on Netflix. There was, I think Hulu. I'm trying to think of other streaming services that were around the time that Netflix was. And I don't, aside from like Hulu, I don't think I could think of any. And again, they didn't have their own product, or maybe they did back in the day. I don't really remember, but they just were the best spot that you went to for everybody else's stuff. If it wasn't on Netflix, maybe somebody uploaded the movie in 16 parts on YouTube, and it was mirrored and it was backwards. You had to like this property is condemned. You have to type that in reverse, and then you got to the title. It was crazy. Good movie, by the way. And I think that's what VeVe's doing now, where they are, again, the largest platform for digital collecting. But that doesn't stop other companies from trying. Again, Disney Pinnacle, where they had, I don't know if I have it in today's screenshots or if it was yesterday's. It's probably yesterday's. And I know, and there's a bit of news to go over as well. Long story short, I want to find it for you guys, because I think it's important to see. It's basically when you log into Disney Plus, I could probably find it. It's their perks experience, and the Disney Plus perks. No, that's not it either. As soon as you log in, you get a QR code, and you say, oh, hey, you know, go to your perks, see what, okay, here it is. Let me take off the charger here for a second. And it says scan code for exclusive perks. And then obviously in the background, you just see it's Disney Plus. They have Mickey Mouse stuff, they have Bluey, they have Captain America. And unlock a treasure trove of subscriber only discounts, chances to win, and more. And Disney Pinnacle is just on that. Now, how much of it is because Disney maybe receives higher margins from Disney Pinnacle? Maybe the deal they have with VeVe is, you know, Disney only gets this amount. But the agreement that they have with Disney Pinnacle is this much. It might look better for Disney if something with the Disney name actually, worked out and did something. And maybe that's why Disney Pinnacle got something and VeVe didn't. I don't know why. Somebody had commented saying yesterday, because some promotion Disney perks. I guess there's over 50 million subscribers, and even with a small percentage of that, like I'm very curious to know the numbers. So if anyone is like super close to the Disney Pinnacle team, and you could say, hey, like have you seen the numbers growing? Because VeVe's numbers not so hot. I'll show you that real quick as well. It's on the thumbnail. VeVe's numbers, there were, aside from May 22nd, because I don't know that, but from May 20th to May 29th, there is not a single day where we have over 816 people on the app. Early May, we had a couple of days where we had 1,000 plus, and I'll look for that now. Give me a sec here. Let me go to. Actually, the last time we had over 1,000 people was May 17th, where we had 1,389. On May 14th, we had 1,041. So even towards the middle of the month, you had a good amount of people on here, or at least more than we had now. And again, May 11th, you had 1,200. May 7th, you had 1,300. May 10th, you had 1,400. So like from like May 7th to May 14th, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, like more than half of the amount of days we had over 1,000 people, and even the days around it, 998, 901, 937, 912, 980, 841. From 6 May to May 15th, it was booming. And then even end of April, you had in the 8s, the 7s, you had 1,000 day, you had a grand day on April 25th. And the lowest day was April 28th at 7:45. And then boom, May 1st, 11:12. But yeah, the numbers the last week, especially May 27th, 502. Like, I hope we didn't have a drop that day, or if we did, I hope it was. So let me take a look at May 27th here, and obviously again, that's like the lowest day of the month. So I did just cherry pick that piece of data. So yeah, there was nothing actually. Yeah, pretty light on drops toward the end after the Star Wars. What was that? But again, I there's a point to this, and I am going to have a positive spin on this. So obviously, you want to see the numbers go up instead of down, because the big drop off the end of the month after May 19th, which is the pod racers. You had a comic and again, so you're not getting a ton of people, but they gross like $560,000 this month, 575, and again, like a lot of that is from the app, and I'm not including what's going on VeVe Comics. So it was like 560, 580, give or take, that they get in gross revenue. So the numbers are, the amount of people that we have on the app is going down, but the sales are going up. So what happens when you when you see something that works, you try something, and maybe it's not as popular because again, you have the numbers going down, but you see the amount of income you get going up. Now, obviously, it's because of Star Wars month, and you can't do that every month. But there's so much. Again, there's only so much time before the NFT bull run. Now, take a look at the NFTs over on where they at? Where they at here? Let's go to CoinGecko real quick, and then we'll take a look at the NFTs on the floor price. It's not a pretty picture this month for NFTs. I mean, there's a couple of things, like I think Moonbirds have done really well, but things are down like 20, 30, 40, 60. What is this? Doodle's down 63%, over 30-day period. Now you have stuff like On-Chain Monkey. No idea what that is. Despite it being down 27% on the day, they're actually up 16% on the month. Crypto dick butts, that's hysterical, is up 93% on the month. And then you have Good Vibes Club up 117%. So there are a couple of things that are, yeah, and this is the Moonbirds, they're up 73%. 104% over the last week. But there's a lot of stuff in here that's down quite a bit. So it's, for NFTs, it's kind of a mixed bag. Not a lot of these are up or down a small amount of percent. It's up big or down crazy worse. But there is a lot of trading going on. Is there a lot of watching back and forth? Sure. But there is money that's going to go into this. And it seems that, again, for some of these things that are having a great month or a great week or a great couple weeks, some money starting to flow into it. And I think that within the next 6 months, you see a bunch of money going into NFT, going into not just NFTs, but VeVe NFTs as well. Because again, I don't know what autoglyphs are. And this has got to be crazy manipulated, because autoglyphs are 95 ETH. Outside of Web3, I don't think any, like, ask me what an autoglyph is like, is that some type of hieroglyphic? Is that some type of new, like language thing, like language learning protocol, whatever? I don't think anyone outside of Web3 would know what an autoglyph NFT is. And the floor, despite being down 17% on the month, is $240,000. So you have a NFT token, non-fungible token, that has a 95 ETH floor. And I'll use the same example that I did the other day. You have Baby Grogu, like one of the only good things to come out of recent Star Wars history the past decade. There's others as well, but one of. That is worth less than 1% that this is. Because 24,000, actually, 1% of this would be $2,400. So it's actually worth less than 1/10 of 1%. That is fucking retarded. That Baby Grogu, one of 900. Now, I don't know how many of these there are, of these autoglyphs. About unique owners. There's 172. So there's 512 of these. Okay, so there's actually more Baby Grogus than there are of this. Let's do back of the napkin math, make it simple. Let's say it's double. And actually, the all-time high was like 567 ETH, like 2 years ago. Jesus. I don't think Baby Grogu, who, again, born in the bear market, sure. But I don't think it's fair to say that Baby Grogu, even if there is twice as many Grogus as there are autoglyphs, should be worth less than 1/10 of 1% of an autoglyph. I think there's a huge imbalance there. And this autoglyph is 83% lower than its all-time high. So I'm just, throwing that out there. So what do they have to do? And again, obviously, VeVe grows more than 500,000 this month. But what do they have to do, or what is a possibility that I think could reinvigorate some of the people that they've been losing, and that can clearly, again, like, I know VeVe says, and this for anyone, how many times can we ask our clients to dig into their pocketbooks and give us money? Amazing Star Wars drops. You had Blackpink thrown in there too, which that made like 30, 40K. So there was a couple of people that in private Telegram groups are like, yo, this is a major flop. When you're grossing $30,000 or $40,000 on a drop and that's considered a flop, like, congrats. So just because, and you had some people say like, okay, well, there's too much in this, why put Blackpink in Star Wars month where everyone's saving up money for that? And it's like, okay, I understand that premise of saying, hey, this is why put something valuable in between two other things that are valuable? Why not, spread it out a little bit? let people recover. Disney Pinnacle is not going to let people recover. Crypto, like any other digital collectible platform out there, like in baseball, it said that it's a lot easier to fall out of first place than it is to get into first place. And in the business world of digital collectibles, I understand you don't want to ask your audience, 21 times each month to dig into their pockets and give you something, or 30 times each month, whatever, because you want to give them a break. Well, every other shark or like baby shark, baby guppy is circling out there trying to pilfer off and siphon off money from the average VeVe user. Everyone that had gone to Hero, they were once a VeVe user. And see where Hero landed. Same thing with Cryptoys, same thing with Disney Pinnacle. Any other, I think even Cryptoys said that they built their blueprint of a successful company like off of VeVe. Like VeVe is the gold standard measuring stick. Now, obviously, they've had many misses with the app updates being insanely slow, timelines missings. Like I get that, but it's I think going to be 6 months away, and it could be 3 months. It could be next. It could be the month of June. Happy end of May. It could be the month of June, or it might not happen until February of next year, where NFTs become cool again. But either way, that you have some time there, and once that NFT bull run hits, you could post up, 5,000 of these turtle ducks, and they'll sell out because it's on VeVe. It's got to be good. VeVe doesn't put up shit, and they don't. Everyone on VeVe was successful in their own right before they got on VeVe. So not just any Yahoo can go on and do it. So if ever they put something out there, like again, they had the Invisible Woman, where it's just a stand, and we all bought it. I bought one on the drop, and I still have it. It's cool. I have all the Fantastic Four stuff because they're cool. If in 6 months or whenever the NFT bull run comes, if they're going to sell out whatever they're putting out anyway, why not use some of the good stuff now? Why not give Captain America #1? Why not, like, for Star Wars alone? Let's go to Phantom Menace. Let's start with Episode 1. You have Darth Maul. You have the double-bladed lightsabers. You have Kid Anakin. You have Qui-Gon Jinn. We have like adult Obi-Wan Kenobi. Why not get Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi? You have him when he's a Jedi Knight. You don't have him when he's a Padawan and ready to become Master. You don't have Darth Maul. You don't have, and again, VeVe loves to play. Dude, I swear I see stuff in this mirror. VeVe loves to play fast and loose with first appearances. Oh, all right, first appearance Daredevil. All right, so when you have Matt Murdock, no, we're gonna give him a first appearance also. Okay, they could probably give us first appearance Palpatine and first appearance Sidious. You have the Keira Knight Padme. You have the actual Padme. What's her name? Jane Foster, Natalie Portman Padme. You could have her as like handmaiden Padme. You could have her as Queen Padme with all the crazy stuff, or with her wardrobe. You'd have Mace Windu. You got a freaking Yoda. There's so many things that you could get that we would all buy. And again, they could do a drop. They could do 3 drops a week for probably 6 months and not run out of content for Star Wars. You have Kit Fisto, and then suddenly you don't have Queen Amidala. Now you have Senator Amidala, and you have a R2 when he's blaring his fire. You have C-3PO with the droid head, and then the droid body with C-3PO's head. You finally have and again, multiple first appearances. Dooku, Tyrannus. You could have Yaddle over there. You could have Anakin again, because we don't have adult Anakin. We don't have Kid Anakin. We don't have adult Anakin. We have Vader, sure. We could have Anakin with his arm chopped off. Give us all the parts to Vader. Give us the freaking Millennium Falcon. We don't have Chewie. We don't have Chrysanthemum. That, again, so much that you could do. And yeah, there's a lot of fun going on right now. Let me see if sorry, 1 second. Yeah. You work? Yeah. So I do have other stuff to get to, but all this to say that what VeVe is doing here, as far as utilizing or really making an efficient customer lifetime value for everyone here. I know that the amounts of people that are on the app are lower, but the amount of money that they're extracting from the user is pretty nice, and they could keep that up if they wanted to. And I understand, like, no, save Yoda for the, for the Bull Run, save the Millennium Falcon for the Bull Run, save all the, save all these amazing Star Wars stuff that we would love to have for the Bull Run. I don't. He would want me to. Bruce Clark Kent would have probably loved to collect some of these, and now he'll never be able to. There are probably other people in the. I'm telling you right now, there's other people in the community that are straight up not doing so hot, health issues, and they would probably love to collect some of these things before, the bad times. I feel like Luke Danes, where he's like, his uncle is like buried with his baseball cards. Like, I would have liked to have those baseball cards. I would like to collect Millennium Falcon. Anyway, oh, are you winning, son? That's a my man. Oh, my man's getting that bread. Hi, babe. I know you're listening. Turtle saying first, what's going on, Turtle? Saying, will there be more or less than 200 million OMI burn next week in Lisbon? 200 million. Oh, I guess it's not really a lot. What is that? 20? So it's like 40,000 ish, give or take. We could probably do 40,000. Like, again, this is if, and I don't. I don't want to cast a bunch of stones. They have the agreements or verbal agreements from WC3MTE, Dr. Profit, and Foster. You can use their likeness, you make them a collectible, and they don't want anything for it, and they don't have to share anything with Epico. You could just make random statues of them, and they'll sell out. Make it with OMI. They will sell out. They are of people that people like, recognizable. Dr. Profit is pretty much the godfather of OMI. Foster is the coin wizard, and WC3MTE is the community manager for Stacker. Got a nice trinity over there. And again, burn, like, I understand that burns can essentially just be a gimmick. Like, yeah, like I don't think anyone cared that Sheeb or Shiba, whatever it's called, Sheeb coin, started out with trillions and trillions of tokens. And if you burn 500 billion tokens, whoa, they burned 500 billion. That is a fraction of their total supply. So I understand that burning is not the end all be all, and it can be seen as gimmicky, but there's an episode of Supernatural where Dean is talking to either Bobby or, I think Bobby is like, listen, in case you haven't noticed, I don't have a lot left. I know that VeVe is painfully aware of what the community wants. Like VeVe is, they see it, they are told, but I don't think VeVe is aware of some of the mental health issues with some of their users. Like you see Ash Crypto Real with like millions of followers out there crashing out on X all the time. Yeah, that James Gwynn guy, or James Wynn, that has just lost like $100-something million because he got liquidated like twice in 2 days. I think the community needs a win, and even if I get it, like even if 200 million being burned is not going to change things one way or the other, and I know that VeVe had burned 5.5 billion from the business development wallet, which is great, because if they were to do buybacks and burns from revenue like they had originally planned, it would have been less than the amount that they burned. So they did everyone a nice favor. Let's burn $5.5 billion. They did that. But that wasn't like the people didn't do it. Like they kind of did that. Like, hey, throw them a bone. I think the community needs a win, and I think that is one of the ways that they could just turn sentiment around. Like, hey, it's one thing to say like, we hear you. We promise. We know we haven't communicated well in the past. We promise more communication. And then they haven't. And again, I know the reasons why. What do you think David was doing at the Las Vegas conference for licenses? It wasn't like sitting on the bench, like just waiting for the bus. He wasn't just like taking photos. Like why does he maybe get a few minutes a day to post on Twitter, and maybe a few minutes a day to, this man will never catch up on text messages. He'll never catch up on emails. He'll never catch up on notifications because time won't allow him to. He has so many people, again, in the licensing conference in Las Vegas that he was at before London Comic Con. Maybe his sleep entered the double digits. Like maybe he got like 10 hours sleep, like that whole, the whole like 3 days he was there. Because have meetings with everyone. And then you have the impromptu meetings. They have like, oh, hey, come to this mixer where you can rub elbows with this person. Oh, hey, meet this guy. And so even like the time off isn't really time off when everyone wants to talk to you. And then again, you have a whole company to run. Ben's gone now. So now, hey, that falls back on him. Putting out fires, doing those chores, meeting with people. Like, so I understand why there's kind of a lack of communication here. But throw the community a bone and do like, and again, it doesn't have to, and it should be buybacks, but it doesn't have to be. And I know that again, they're a private company, and I've been talking for like 30 minutes, and I'm sorry, I'll get to some of this news soon. I know a private company. I'm curious on like where the money goes. Like you have gross 550K, and yeah, you have $250,000 you have to pay, that dude's legal bills, and then you have a bunch of other stuff that's going on. I get that. But yeah, like there's some problems here, and I had a whale text me today saying like, hey, OMI is now down however much percent from all-time high, and how much for every percent where everyone bought it at. And they say there's going to be communication, and there wasn't even like there wasn't even a mention of OMI. And I get it, it's a VeVe video. There's a whole VeVe video out there, and I would much rather have OMI have its own video. Again, they're going to Lisbon in a couple of days, and I would much rather have them focus on OMI there than just being a footnote in just like a random VeVe video. That being said, you can't give us both. Like you can't just say like, don't worry, more for OMI soon. I feel like that it would have been better than not saying it at all. And again, super easy for me to say this from my spinny chair down here. And again, I know I've been talking for like 28 minutes here. I did not mean to. What's up, Crypto Cosmo? How's it going, fam? We love you long time. And yes, I had the tummy rumblies. Had some mac and cheese today. Did you know mac and cheese is like 69 cents at and also there's this whole conspiracy thing that oh, who dis? Yeah. Oh, nice. Bro, Dr. Stuff is so freaking cool. Dude, he's just all right. I can't. Dr. Stuff just be doing handstands out there, kissing the ground, and then like that dude is just so cool. I love this man. I love him so much. Let me give him some hearts. I know, but still, gotta tell your friends you love. Oh lordy, there's a lot going on here. Okay, sweet, straight fire. Let's go over some of the let's go over OMI, because that's the thing of the hour. Down 4% on the day to 0001975. And at 0001975, we have 3.6 million in volume. Most of that going to come from Deepcoin, and that Deepcoin has 2.6 million. So 1 million everywhere else, 2.6 million at Deepcoin. I don't know what it is. It makes up 69% of the volume. Comment nice down below, 69. I know. Yeah, I don't know what Deepcoin is, but it buy USDT. Get that bread. Penguin Colada says good evening, good evening. And then let's see what OMI is at over on the CoinGecko. All right, it shows our 1978. 83% are feeling pretty negative about OMI today. But buy when the fear is high, right? I did not buy any OMI today. I did buy a little bit of Essence though, tiny bit of Essence, and I'll go over that later. Let's do Shiro here. Take a look at the meow kitty. Down another 4.5% today. Shiro's just getting wrecked. Shiro's been, but 1.9 million in volume, so that's still got. Remember in The Hangover, where they go back to the hotel room. Mike Tyson's just playing the piano. Didn't, and then they're all singing, and then and he just punches to, and then Bradley Cooper's like, still got it. Oh no, he punched Alan, and then Stu's like, still got it. So like I get Shiro's been going down, but the volume's still there, and it's so there are obviously more people are selling and buying, or not. There's more people. There's more amounts of Shiro being sold than it is being bought. Obvious, but there's still a lot of people buying, and they haven't really done a bunch of buybacks from, well, if they get restitution for the hack, which I think they will, that'll go into supporting the chart a bit. And that bottom was that like 3.9 million. So obviously it would have been best to get it there. I think then it went back up to like 7. It almost like doubled, and it's been kind of wedging down here. But also, again, everything. Did that beat OMI? So it's down 4.7 on the day. OMI's only down 4%. So OMI didn't do as bad as that, but yeah, the volume's still there. And I'll get a little more Shiro in July. In a couple months. I have other stuff that I want to do first. So in June. So again, I just got a little and the thing is, like, I didn't necessarily, I mean, I always want more Devi, and we'll go over that next. And there's a lot of news to go over with Devi. I didn't necessarily want to get more. I don't want to keep buying. Like, well, it's not that when prices go down, yeah, bags are smaller, and that doesn't feel good. But you do get a good chance of dollar cost average for what they're doing in the future. And I don't think Tom Anderson, the founder, has ever been this excited about Devi. And so there's something that we have a bunch of things we have to go over with Devi. So let me take a look here. All right, don't have to play. Hey everyone. Right, okay. Conflicting things, specific. Okay. So Tom says, hey everyone, I've had some back and forth with folks on our internal team about my note on above news with the sovereign states being delayed. Again, they are talking to sovereign states because with their sharding technique, they can spin it up to different types of, they can spin it up to, each country will have different regulatory concerns and different regulatory rules, and their sharding technology, they can spin it up to whatever it is. So it's not a concern, but, well, I'll let them speak. To be sure, we are still planning on moving ahead with them, and I still think there are very powerful concepts at play. Many island nations were put on lists by the US government, though, and presumably this was done by the current administration to force change as the US government wants. For me, this is an act of God type of concept, like hurricanes or other natural disasters, something that just happens out of nowhere in particular. It's not a long-term issue, though, and is simply a small delay in the scheme of things. Nothing fundamental has changed, and these short-term issues do not threaten the foundational concepts we've discussed with the island nations, and we are still going to move ahead with them. So you have somebody asking, hey, Tom, there are some conflicting statements here I'd just like to ask about, if you can clear them up. On this message, you said that the announcements around sovereign state interactions, which indicates much less than a partnership or a deal being in place. Then a message further down where you said we're still planning on moving ahead with them, which infers a deal or partnership already in place. I just want a clarification for that. So Tom says, I left what I said as unspecific on purpose. Here's the challenge on answering this type of thing. When you have a conversation with an enterprise, or a government for that matter, you explore synergies. If you agree on certain paths forward, you would typically also look for bigger, longer-term synergies as well. We described that we were having strong conversations in good faith, but this is the trick, and why we often say we'll give more info soon, is that one never really knows what types of things can come out of left field before details are finalized, both short and in the long term, like a new administration completely shaking up the world. Trump. The bottom line is we're not ready to announce things, so I can't give any details. In retrospect, we should have waited to mention it, given the way things ended up being politicized. Both short and long term, being politicized, but hindsight is 2020. If I give hints and the community complains that we didn't give enough information or that it takes too long, so here's what I'll say, and this is all I will say. We have had strong conversations with multiple island nations. There are material concepts at play, and I personally am excited about what they represent. We're not going to say anything else on this until it's ready to announce, and we have specifics that are approved on both sides to release. Basically, this is pulling the rubber band back a little bit, and that's why Devi went down to like 43 cents today. I think it's up to like 50 cents now, or it was before. Let me just check this real quick. Yeah, we had a couple of whale buys. It was up to 50 cents. It's still at 50 cents. So it is actually up 11% on the day, despite being down to 43 cents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 18 hours ago, down to 43 cents. And yeah, so I did get a bit of Devi over the last week. Did I catch the exact bottom? No, but I got pretty close, 44, 45 cents. Again, just something that I needed to do for me. Moving on here, talks with other nations. Why? Tell me why. Sorry, 1 second. You have Austin from Devi saying, our talks with the nations have been in regards to using our tech and infra to manage and track their ESG data and efforts, and they're pretty big jobs. More than one doesn't understand. Yeah, so they're pretty big jobs. Like sovereign states. Okay, so this guy says, am I the only one here that doesn't understand like what is a sovereign state? What does it do? Why is it great for Devi? What's the point? When, where, who? They have Tom saying that sovereign state is just another word for a country. I still expect that we'll announce the relationships with other countries. Again, multiple countries. I need more Devi. In my post, I simply wanted to explain the reason for any delays on those announcements. Although there will be strong releases when they're ready, I'm writing now as I also want to point out that we should all keep the main thing the main thing. We're continuing to drive the exchange business, and that's going well. I often find it ironic that internally we're making substantial progress on our main focus, which we have recently, and people complain about things that aren't related to that progress. To be clear for everyone, I feel as optimistic right now as I have ever felt about where we're headed. Very big for me. I'm very happy about that. So I would like to say that I don't have enough Devi. I want more. Yeah, I have a very small amount. I really need more. Moving on here. If Devi is positioning itself as a serious player for institutional adoption, emphasizing things like enterprise-grade speed, security, compliance, and utility, then leaning into gaming like the current website promotes can dilute that message. It creates a mixed identity. Chains like Ondo or HBAR maintain credibility partly because they stay tightly aligned with the core mission, real-world finance, tokenization, enterprise solutions. You don't see them chasing Web3 gaming trends. Should be presented as a secondary showcase, not a core identity. Keep the brand clean, sharp, and institution focused. Interested to know how the others feel about this. I felt pretty nice about it. Speaking of which, I have Tina, I forget her last name, that she's worked on building a protocol on HBAR. She'll be on tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll have a link for that either tonight or early tomorrow morning. Bolshevik, meow, meow, meow. Go says, what's up, Randy and fam? Hang tight during this down crypto market. Good things ahead. Oh, I'm trying, brother. I'm trying. Where's my crown? On YouTube? It should be down there. Keep commenting. Keep commenting and you'll get it. Tammy says, hi, everyone. What's up, Tammy? How's it going, girl? Girl. He says, yo, Tammy and Kuma. Hey, zombie. What's good, John Digby? Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Speaking of meows, daCAT. I'll get back to the Devi and let's do... Yeah, well, actually, let me do this one thing on Devi here, and then I'll go to daCAT. They are... And again, it's up 11% with 300,000 in volume. So very low volume. $43 million market cap. That's number 753. I guess that's better than 798 it was yesterday. Let's go to daCAT here real quick and show that pretty flat on the day, down about 0.2%. $194 in volume, pretty low. $1.6 million market cap. I had a voice chat with the daCAT people yesterday, and I had and again, this is what I remember what I said before. VeVe is like the Netflix of high-end digital collectibles. Like they're Netflix. I should say Netflix back in like 2008, because there wasn't really any competition, and like there was competition for VeVe for a while with different platforms. You know, you had Recur, the VeVe killer, Hero, the VeVe killer, Cryptoys, the VeVe killer, and you know, where are they now? But Disney Pinnacle, though, when it does sales, it usually grosses like 40-50K. They have, I don't even want to say high-end stuff, but they price it like it is. They price it, you know, at $50 per pin, but there's like 5 different pins, and they're all like, you know, 200 or like 300 pins each. So like they're all really, really scarce. So again, that's like the only other, and again, there's Dapper Labs in general that just has, you know, NFL All Day, NBA Top Shot, you know, they have UFC Strike. So, but what I was getting at is Netflix back in the day, they just had no competition. And what really set them apart in the later years that kept, you know, Netflix be part of FANG, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, is that their original content was so good. Like they take very good care of their original shows. I don't know if they've kept up with that. The only thing from Netflix that I really watch now is like Cobra Kai and like Stranger Things. I'm sure they have other good titles. Haven't really seen. I think Queen's Gambit I saw. There's a bunch of stuff out there, right? But VeVe has not taken that step yet. They are the best at what they do, which is licensing out other people's content and their IP and making high-end digital collectibles on it. And they take really good care of that. Best at what they do. But they don't have their own IP yet. Tomorrow, we have one of the only VeVe IPs or pieces that are on here. You have the logos, which are great. I'm curious what a gold logo is right now. And those are great. The VeVe logos are fire. Not just the gold, you have, you know, the rest of them. But then tomorrow you have dioramas, which is great, but there's no original characters. And again, I've gotten multiple calls over the last couple days of people wanting to buy the daCAT IP, wanting to absorb it under the umbrella, where the estimated value is like 100,000, like pre-revenue. Which again, I know that sounds bananas, and it is, but there are other. I know of an IP out there right now that is worth in the 8 figures, and no one's ever heard of it yet. None of y'all have heard of it. No, nobody outside of the licensing world knows about it. And I think in the next year or two, it'll sweep the nation. But it's already worth in the 8 figures because of who's attached and all that jazz. So obviously stuff pre-revenue can be worth a lot. I would very much like VeVe to get involved somehow to buy a piece of daCAT, because they're busy. Like I am going to, like, with or without VeVe, I am going to build this crazy universe with these amazing, incredibly real and fantastical characters to a multi-million-dollar IP. Again, 100K already, and it's not hasn't received a dime in revenue yet. But the story is absolutely incredible. The artwork is great. The community is bananas. What's up, Mosvane? they're insane. And the token's already $1.6 million market cap. And this is in a pretty harsh bear market where most other things, are, again, most cryptos out there go to zero. They're not worth it. They'll wind up dying. And I guess you could say that for businesses on a long enough timeline as well. But again, this is my baby. This is what I'm gonna, and it might not work, but built a successful high-risk lending business, built a successful Pokemon business, got a YouTube channel worth $250,000 now. If I were a betting man, which I am from time to time, name that movie, I would bet on myself. I at least wouldn't bet against me. Anyway, that was for daCAT. Let's go back to some Devi stuff here. Thanks for the reply. So you have a guy named Night Shift saying, thanks for the reply, Tom. I get the sense that the gaming angle might be emphasized partly due to your background in that space, which makes sense. That said, I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether you believe the gaming aspect should be minimized as we move forward, particularly in the context of positioning Devi alongside other institutional grade chains, which maintain a very focused brand identity. Just keen to hear your thoughts. Says gaming isn't going to be any part of Devi Digital's marketing, which means that there will be marketing at some point. Let me go over Definity here real quick because I haven't yet, and then I will. Definity down 5% on the day to 4.4 cents. They have 11,000 in volume, so not terrible. $6.8 million market cap, 7.6 fully diluted. Not much has changed here. Actually, I do not know what they did in revenue the last couple of days, but in the month they did very well. Yeah, I haven't had a update from them. Oh God, since the 28th, and that was about the 28th. So, but yeah, they're doing quite well. Let's do 47 minutes here. That was Definity, and maybe I'll get more Definity. I mean, it's already done. Should have got more at 1.5 cents. 4.4 cents now. I don't know if, I'm sure I'll get more at some point. Oh yeah, Essence. I want to go over that. So of course I bought Essence today when it's up like 7. Oh, it's up 14% now. Oh, that's just because it hasn't changed much in price. I bought it at like 3.4 cents. It is up 14% today though. So again, I bought when it was up 14%. But looking at the height of it, it came out at 12 cents and now it's at 3.4. Could it go lower? Absolutely. But the reason why I bought a little bit more today is because I have thousands of tiles on there. So I have a bunch of properties, and it I typically don't have a lot of stuff for sale, and I haven't gotten bids on anything in months. Like on any of my properties, I got multiple bids today, and I had 2 people reach out like, hey, can we get a deal on this? Can we work on this? Can we do et cetera, et cetera? One guy was an idiot, and he's like, yeah, I know this is worth like $700, but can I give you like $30 for it? I just blocked him. Another guy was just like, hey, how close to are we to like a sale here? Like I keep offering and you keep declining, and I up it a little bit. I just figured I'd message you. I was like, yeah, no, appreciate it. Let's see. And then I sold a couple properties to him. So it's weird that I don't get anything for months, and then I get 2 guys the same day, and then actually there was other people that didn't message me that were bidding, but they were bidding like way too low. But yeah, ask and sometimes you shall receive. So, and again, I'll show you this. I'll show you this as well. Let me go to my properties on Earth 2, and I'll just do one. Let me go to, I don't need the profile. Let me just go to who bid. All right. Save the vid. I will visit the property. View, buyer bid, and it's not going to matter. No, your screen is not glitching. That it is not spazzing out like it's on acid or anything. That, what you're seeing right there, is the amount of transactions that's happening every single second. 8 transactions a second. Now, granted, most of these are people that are raiding, they're buying or selling jewels, they're turning their ether into essence. Not all of these are, they're launching side droids, they're dispensing something, they're buying land, but people are buying land pretty constantly. And again, a lot of them are launching side droids, they're raiding, they're doing whatever. But you can tell, like, all of the amount of things that are going on there, it's insane. So yeah, I think that Earth 2, there seems to be movement in Earth 2. So I just bought a couple $100 worth, nothing big, nothing crazy. Oh lordy, I get there's a lot of notifications here. Okay, well, these are from Elon Musk. I don't need to know about those. Hey, VeVe reposted me. Hi, VeVe. Thanks, fam. Love you. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Some shady, some hard to see another NFT bull run at the moment. And this is probably why I'm more bullish on NFTs right now than anything, is because you're not the only one that thinks like that. You could say for the same as crypto, hey, this is not the way that any of us expected this bull run to turn out right now. Middle class got wrecked. Most people got wrecked in general, regardless of class. And yeah, Bitcoin's at trading at all-time highs. It's not all-time highs right now, but it's over 100,000. Probably be pretty happy about that. I was legit on the phone with a buddy of mine from Earth 2 today, and I was like, "What else are you buying?" He's just like, "I sold out of ETH. ETH sucks." I was like, "Well, like, it just up like 40%, like almost like doubled these last couple months." He's like, "Yeah, so I sold it because it's doubled." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, you got it down there, and sure." Does it go back down to under 2K again? I don't know. I think ETH is probably one of the safest things to get. Might 2 to 3x, maybe go to like 7K. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of other people are kind of just like, again, you have people with millions of dollars like crashing out, saying like, I was dreaming like of like retiring, and now I'm like getting a second job to pay the loans I took out to buy this crypto, and it's like, oh, and it's like, if I would have just saved that money up until now, like, again, people getting wrecked. So I understand when there's blood in the streets and the sentiment is down, and hundreds of millions of dollars being liquidated. 100 million just from one guy got liquidated. Yeah, it's hard to see anybody caring about these stuff. But again, crypto dick butts, for better or worse, they're up like 70% this month. And that I don't Ethereum hieroglyphic thing, whatever that was, has a $250,000 floor. So clearly there's people out there that are putting money into this. And comics exhibition, I assume your specialty is in comics. Maybe it's event planning, and maybe you put on these exhibitions with comic book people. I don't know what your specialty is. Whatever it is, I'm certain you do it well. I'm certain you should be proud. But for NFTs, that's something that Raul Powell does every day. and he is so bullish on it. I'm not going to bet against him. Like again, this thing just goes in cycles. It happens every 4 years. It'll happen this year. That's my opinion, or that's the opinion in which I subscribe to. That's the one that seems to make the most sense, even if you can't see it right now. Have you ever seen? I hate that argument. Have you ever seen $1 billion? No. Well, how are you sure it exists? Like, it's a weak argument. I get it. Trying to think of a good metaphor for it, and I can't. But I know it's hard to see. I can't promise anything, but the odds of it happening versus not happening, I would bet the odds that it's happening. John Devi says there's a lot of FUD going right now. It's scary. I don't really see it as scary. I see it as an opportunity. When you're a boxer, and like you're throwing jabs, and you see the other person, maybe not so much, bobbing and weaving, but they're backing up. They're actively retreating from you. And that could be a tactic to make it so that, okay, this person takes tiny steps. So, if they're stepping 4 times for every 2 times I'm stepping, then yeah, that could be a tactic for that. But I don't get scared of the people that back away. I get scared, or I have to adjust for people that lean into a punch. And when certain things happen, and it's probably good that you're feeling like this, because if you're feeling that the FUD is scary, then you probably represent millions of other people that also believe the FUD is scary. But again, like who do you want to act like? Like, it doesn't matter who you want to act like. If I'll just give you an example. Watch what the people with money do. Are they scared? I would say most of them are not. Most of them that have been in investing for a while or been in the space for a while, they're not scared. Like their bags might be light, and they might be a little pissed off about that, and they might want these freaking trade wars to end. I'm right there with them. But I don't think they're scared. The ones that I talk to are not. Again, they're a little pissed off, but they are not scared. It'll happen, in my opinion. But again, I think it's good right now, because if you're somebody that is a fairly good investor, and you're just like, oh, I don't know. If you're starting to question, then bottom's probably there, probably in, or and again, probably some good opportunities. Anyway, let's keep on going. Zombie saying we need new users. We don't need new stuff for first appearances or new partnerships. Don't ask me how that happens, but we need new people, fresh blood, new money, whatever you want to call it. I would rather VeVe reinvigorate their already existing clients, but I understand the sentiment in what you're saying, and I will take care of that on my end as again, Ladies on the Soul comic, written. First 2 daCAT comics, written. Halfway done with the second daCAT, with the third daCAT comic, and I am almost halfway done with Space Penguins comic. And I have a couple irons in the fire for a couple of other comics that I'd like to write for other communities that can come into VeVe. I would say I know for a fact that we'll get in the 4 figures in signups. How many of them actively stay on VeVe and are here every day? I don't know. How many of them buy OMI? I don't know. But as far as new users, slowly but steadily, I will try. I'll continue trying. Walrus King says, yo, Randy, comics and crypto and sleep and chat and everything about great. I'll finish that. About great comics yet to come on VeVe for me, so bullish. I haven't listened to that yet. I went on there yesterday for like a minute, just be like, hey, I love you guys. Because those two are like, I love them so much. They're crazy intelligent, and they just are titans in their field. They know the space, they know their stuff, and they're very good at what they do. And when they speak, especially about comics, it's literally in their names. You should listen. But on top of that, they're just awesome people, and they're genuinely great people, and I love them, and I can't wait to see them again. And Comey Uchar says even needs to fix the app and start mass marketing. Marketing right now will not do anything. It won't. So I'm gonna guess why you're saying that is because you want, like we all do, we want NFTs to be fun again, to be cool again, and more people spending money, so our vault value goes up, they get into OMI, and our bags go up. Unfortunately, marketing right now is not going to help that. Get OMI on big exchanges. Again, that right now will not help it, because if it weren't for DeepCoin, we'd have $900,000 in volume today, which is, you don't take a token with 900,000 in volume and put it on the biggest exchanges in the world. If it's doing millions of volume a day, like tens of millions, yeah, then you put it on those exchanges, because then it'll help. And again, Binance, generally very predatory. They tend to want 10% of the entire token supply, which is more than the entire business development wallet. So again, that would likely be a net negative for the token. Tokens that go on Binance typically don't do well. They actually typically do very badly. Coinbase, I understand. I want Coinbase when the time is right as well, but that is not going to help right now. No big drops or IP will change the downward trajectory. Well, Pokemon would definitely change that, but that's Pokemon. I don't. That's a battle. Big drops do help with, because again, like, if there's a drop where it's a random key comic book, or it's a drop where you have like Yoda, clearly there's going to be more people on the app on that day, spending more money on that day. But I get it. I also would like the app to be in top performance, and even though marketing would make us feel better, I don't think that is something that is a good use of capital right now. I think capital allocation is very important, and I think they've done fairly well with it so far. But I probably best to save that for when stuff is cool again. Oh God, there's a lot of comments. We need Ben back ASAP. I love Ben. I love again, Ben is awesome. I messaged him the other day. He messaged back. He sends his love. Wubba Wubba says, Randy sounds like even actually increases pressure VeVe and OMI. Is that a fair assessment? No, I am. It's just not fun. Like, again, I've bought the dip 600 times now. I've had conversations with myself where it's just like, dude, my tablet is fully charged. I can now charge my telephone. I've had conversations with myself where it's like, dude, just like not buy crypto anymore and treat yourself. And like I'm waiting on the appointment on the I have an appointment at the VA next week, and once that's done, I can start going to the spine specialist, and he'll start fixing my back, and it'll be covered by the VA. It's like, hey, Chavez, can just take some of that crypto money and just pay out of pocket. I could, but it's just like, I could use that to buy crypto. And granted, I go in and I get like adjustments, which are like nothing, but they don't cost much. So, I get that just up until like the actual treatments can begin. But that's just an example of just like things that I don't do, because I could take that and buy crypto, or I could take that and do other stuff. So again, it has, I don't want to say nothing to do with VeVe and OMI. Again, they could have a $1 million budget for marketing, for commercials, and doing like actual, like they could have paid $6 million to get in a Super Bowl commercial. And they, it wouldn't have done anything. Something that I think they could do that would not cost them a lot would be, hey, and because if there, I think it was a Doritos commercial. So my friend knows the guy that did I think Doritos did like this thing, like, hey, whoever films the best 30-second commercial and sends it to us, we will use that commercial in the Super Bowl, and we'll give you, I don't know what they said they'd give them. They'd give them like $100,000, whatever it is. And my friend's friend did that, and they won. I think it would be David and Dan are so good at what they do, and they're so busy though. If there was 3 of them each, they would have time to be creative. But it's one of these things where, like, hey, you have billions and tens of billions of OMI in the business development wallet. Can you just say, what we're going to do is we're going to host a competition with 100 million OMI in prizes, which is $10,000. And again, you don't have, like, it's not going to just go to one person. You could take it for like the top 10 people. Whoever makes the best 30-second commercial on why you love VeVe and why you're excited with OMI, and post it online, post it on TikTok, post it on Instagram, post it on Threads, Reels, Facebook, Twitter. Whoever makes the best one and does hashtag VeVe, $OMI, hashtag digital collectibles, whatever, then the top 5 or the top 10 videos will get prizes. And it would cost them nothing. They just take OMI out of the business development wallet and hand it out to people as prizes. Could that potentially create some downward pressure on the token if those people just want to sell it? Sure. But it doesn't necessarily cost VeVe any money. And you're going to get the best of the best. Again, the guy that did the Doritos commercial this past Super Bowl would enter, and he'd probably win. Probably use me as a prop. And you're just going to get the best of it. I would love it if they did that, and not a single person in the VeVe and OMI community won. Because you would have people that are professionals in their field that go in and say, I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to win the prize. I'm going to see what this is all about. I don't even know anything about OMI, but we're going to make an epic video. Remember that WTF is VeVe 2 video that, like, Adam Awesome West or West Awesome, everything is awesome, whatever that dude's name was? That was an incredible video. Probably cost him a couple grand, probably, took him a while to do it. But again, if it's a 30-second video or even like a 3-minute video, dealer's choice. If you're uploading it, you do whatever you want. Then you're going to get dozens of teams of people giving you free content, giving you free stuff that you can use forever. It's out there on the internet. And it's just something that they're not doing. So again, easy for me, that has a lot more free time than David or Dan to think of these things and to say these things. And I get, like, you don't want to hire an idea person, for 30, 50 grand a year, whatever. But that idea is gold. They would get so many different entries. They would get so many different, and again, the good ones will go viral. The good ones will go, and even if you have one that's maybe not so good, even if you have one that's not great, but you have this person that has 700,000 followers or however many million, whatever, even if it's not the best one, you still have somebody like that that's making a video on it, and their followers will see it. And it's just a lot of creative stuff that VeVe could do, and they're just not doing. And even, again, for the burns, I know that doing a whole drop for OMI on Stacker or whatever. Yeah, I get that might be difficult, might be hard, whatever. But how hard would it be to say, hey, you have this in the VeVeverse for available for sale? VeVe Rock, VeVe Hat, VeVe Scarf, VeVe Socks, VeVe Gloves, all available for $2 in OMI, and it's just burned. I'm not a tech guy. I don't know exactly how much effort that would take, how much that would cost. Maybe they have all of those things planned, but it's just going to be saved for the mobile version of VeVeverse. And obviously that wouldn't be it. I think that should be a priority, one, because it'll burn OMI. And again, I know that these small amounts that it's just every little bit helps, and it's just I just don't see the hustle. On the back end, I see the hustle on VeVe, and I know that David especially not getting sleep, or at least not as much sleep as should. But it's just other people don't see it, and I get. There are some movies that just bombs with critics, and it winds up doing really well with audiences. And on the opposite end of that, there's certain things that do super well with critics and audiences like, what? It's because critics see like the same old used tropes in movies like all the time. It's like, and they don't like it. But audiences that don't see nearly as many movies as critics are like, oh, I like this. This is cool. Meanwhile, the critic has seen that like a dozen times this month. Those types of same tropes. There are genuinely good questions out there, but a lot of times I hear the same old ones 30 times a day. Would be more if I got to most of my messages. So it's not the fact that frustrated. It's not that I'm frustrated with them. I'm frustrated with the constraints at which they have to work with, and the entire macro at large. And I can't be like mad with the market, just the scenario in which the market is living in. Moving on. Donovan says, Randy chooses to buy Essence over OMI. And so, I mean, I have a lot of OMI and I don't have a lot of Essence. So, and I think by June or July, I'll get a little more OMI. What's up, Mr. MC1? How's it going, fam? Meow, meow, meow. I haven't really gotten to any of the news yet, and it's been like an hour 13. I did Devi stuff, and then let me go over some of that. I went over that. Trump Media closed the Bitcoin deal, 2.32 billion. There's a lot liquidated from that. All right, Bloomberg reports that Apple is ramping up development of next-gen AR smart glasses, a direct response to Meta's Ray-Ban powered wearable tech. And here's what we know so far. This is from Comics and Crypto. Apple aims to bring AI-powered smart glasses to market by late 2026, with large-scale prototyping starting as early as 2025. So if Apple brings them to market by late 2026, maybe early 2027. Unlike the bulkier Vision Pro headset, these glasses are designed to be lightweight, more discreet, and better suited for everyday use. At the heart of the project, custom Apple silicone chips optimized for on-device AI, battery efficiency, and seamless integration with Apple's ecosystem. Glasses are expected to support AI-powered features like real-time translations, object recognition, and smart assistant functionality without needing a constant cloud connection. This move positions Apple directly competing with Meta's Ray-Ban smart glasses and Google's rumored Android XR platform, both of which are racing to dominate the wearable space. The project signals Apple's strategic shift toward mainstream AR experiences, aiming to correct the Vision Pro's limited adoption due to high price and niche use cases. Industry analysts suggest these AR glasses could eventually become a post-iPhone category, setting the stage for Apple's next major consumer product line. Glasses will crack the smart. Will Apple crack the smart glasses market where others have struggled? All eyes are on Cupertino. Interesting. JP Morgan says Ethereum upgrades have failed to increase network activity. I don't know if JP Morgan's really a big authority on that. Dr. Profit says, community question time. Should OMI users' OMI tokens held in external wallets count toward MCP calculations? What's your take? Include them for complete picture. Keep current methodology. Hybrid approach. Drop your thoughts below. Let me read what people were saying with that. Oh, I forgot what I'd said something. I said, I think having as much OMI on Stacker as possible might make it look more attractive when Stacker tries to get other licenses to it because they can say they hold X amount of dollars worth of crypto. That being said, there is something about not having to give up custody of your OMI and still receiving points. I think so as well. Oh, there's comments. So let me continue on here. Essence not a bad pickup right now. Would have been better at 2.9 cents, but yeah, 3.4 cents is not bad. Yo, Mr. MC1. Look forward to meeting many of you in Lisbon. Also hoping for a great few days for Stacker, Akomi, and VeVe. My focus is OMI and Stacker, my man. And someone says, hi, VeVe Zombie. Bearish, right? I don't know if that was bearish. Sometimes one says, hi, Tammy. I know now. I now know. I don't know what that means. VeVe Magic and Emoji had an awesome show today on YouTube. I feel like, I don't know if anyone here reads read like books, but I have a list that's a couple of dozen books long, and I'll just never get to read them. The VeVe Magic and Emoji show today, I have to watch Leapin' and Comics and Crypto show yesterday, and maybe because I want to watch, like, I love what they're doing. I think that's really cool, but the time constraints is hard. I don't know. Sounds like, hey fam, we got who this? John Digby saying leaderboard, pretty cool. Yeah, leaderboards I think are cool as well. I think that incentivizes people to go in and get that bread. Zombie says, yo, fun. Cocky Gaijin say, what up, boys? Zombie, I would argue new IP can bring in new users. It can. It hasn't really, though. Again, Blackpink is the most popular girl band in the world, and Ubisoft's 9 million followers over on X, and Ubisoft's like one of the biggest gaming companies out there. Rabbids, Assassin's Creed didn't really bring a lot. So I don't know, like, unless they do something in which, again, for Rabbids, it'd be cool. Like, it'd be cool if maybe they had something on like the Rabid Mario game where if you bought a physical copy, you get a promo code, you can, get something on VeVe. Or if you buy something on VeVe, it somehow connects to, whatever game Rabbids are in, and you get a little special flare or sticker or skin. I know that's obviously dreaming, but I again, it could if they do certain things, but right now it's just trying to get those people's fans to buy the product on VeVe is not something that anyone's been able to answer. That is a multi-billion-dollar question. Digital Toys Tommy says VeVe needs to advertise their $10 free QR codes at Comic Cons, not just the card the team hand out. It's gonna hit $10. Had someone sign up 2 days ago. It took 1 minute. They should. I agree 100%. In fact, I'm going to take a picture of that now, so I know. What is happening at Lisbon? Well, Lisbonana is there's a couple of things happening there. Ooh, very nice, very nice. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say what it is, but there's a couple things happening there. Who's going? What announcements do you think? Guys, I don't think there's going to be any announcements there. There'll be some talk, but I don't. Dan is speaking. When is he speaking? Dan is speaking on Wednesday, June 4th. I don't know what time. I think it's pretty early. And he's speaking, I think, for 30 minutes or 15 minutes. It's not a long time that he's speaking for. So I don't know if there might be a footnote about OMI. All of these things you could buy, with VeVe on Gem, with Gems via credit card, or you can go on and buy it in the secondary market with Gems, same thing, or on Stacker for crypto. And I swear to God, if you have crypto and not OMI, it'll lose it. Zombie says, Aaron, sadly, we had Blackpink, and that brought very little compared to the fan base. Hoping for a lot more. Not VeVe's fault, just sentiment in the market. Yeah. Zombie depends on the IP. Some fandoms are ready, some aren't. Narrative is the main thing we're waiting for. Agreed. Having the IP for people who like the stuff also helps. That it does. It does. Zombie with the prayer hands. Hey, what's up, Jinferno? Meow, 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 meow. Aaron, the prayer hands as well. Komotosha saying hello. Howdy. EV Zombie says, hey, Randy, was that you buying Essence making it go up? I didn't buy I bought a couple $100 worth. And I think there's, I don't know how much of the, I didn't buy that much. It is, yeah, there's 21,000 in volume on the day. I didn't buy near enough to make it go boom. Could AI generated NFTs disrupt VeVe? Nah. There's no, again, they can't get licenses. They can't, there's nothing like that. I'm sure there's already AI generated NFTs out there and cryptos and stuff, but there'll be a dime a dozen. AI NFTs definitely, definitely different lane. Digital Toys with Tommy saying, will VeVe ever be part of Disney Plus perks? Probably not. Because if Disney Plus added them to the list, and let's say they got 10 free dollars, there's no guarantee that they'll use that 10 free dollars on Disney stuff. They might use it on something else. So it just doesn't really make the incentive is not as strong for Disney Plus to do it on VeVe, where the 10 free dollars might not be used to purchase any of the IP that you own, or any of the IP that Disney would own. So it's just harder. I don't know. But the VeVe building towards being the next Netflix, but needs to avoid being the next MySpace. That's true. It's true. They do. It's good call. Good call. Facts. And Galado says, is there a tipping point year, like 2026, 2028, when mass adoption becomes inevitable? There's always going to be a niche. No, NFTs are, again, just the blockchain in general is just going to change the world. It actually already has, but I mean, these will be collectibles. How many hundreds of millions of people played Pokemon Go at one point? Not all of them were really into the cards. Some of them might have had them as kids. Not many of them are, really like investing in it. Again, mass adoption for the blockchain is inevitable. For these, they're cool. They're fun. If you can gamify them, that'd be even better. But I'm not sure. Collecting in general is pretty niche. I mean, everyone does it kind of like, for anyone in their 30s, 40s, did y'all have like an aunt or a grandma that had 20 plus magnets on her fridge? Anyone having like a set of grandparents, like elder people from the greatest generation that had like a collection of spoons or a collection of World War II, like people are always going to collect, but this specific thing, this bull market is going to be huge for them. The next one probably will as well, especially in VeVeverse when you have games and stuff. When VeVeverse Phase 2, when gamification, when IP branded worlds. They've been talking about this for 4 years now, and it's like a niche collector market unless we get AR and the new Apple Glass. So again, all of these glasses and stuff will be here in years. So it will be, I don't want to say mass adopted, but it will be definitely bullish, and it will grow. But Yeah, so it's I don't know what years. Piven Colado says VeVe Zombie. Okay, true. And makes it easier than ever to create NFTs. But yeah, IP definitely still rules. Mosman.E says VeVe will be fine. OMI will be fine. Short-term emotions is what kills the pocketbook. It's true. It's true. Niche market for a while. Yeah. Zombie says, think so. And Colado says, let's hope Apple Vision Pro, Microsoft HoloLens, MetaQuest Pro, Google Glass, Snap Spectacles, and all the cool AR glasses from startups, and like Unreal and Magic Leap go mainstream soon for VeVe. It won't be soon, but it all will. Yeah. I don't know why people are like assume that the DEVVE partnership is NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, London Exchange, Hong Kong Exchange. Like there's so many others that are global. And it could be others that I'm not even thinking. Again, they're talking to several countries. Any one of them could have a big one. Like there's nothing that says it's American. Now it could be. That's certainly the rumor, or it's one of the rumors. I just if it's something else, people are gonna be disappointed. And Cosmo says, I suspect this summer will have solid volume amongst many of the blue chip NFT projects. So I was talking about that before. I'm not 100% sure we had the. You were here for that, or even if you're here now, I don't know. Oh, this wasn't that bad. It's not too long ago. Yeah. I mean, ETH's got to go up, and ETH has just been struggling, man. I mean, again, it was 1,300. Now it's like 2,400. So it's obviously doing something right. But yeah, not a lot of these NFTs are doing great right now. So maybe you might have to wait 2 or 3 months, which would be, maybe like July, August. We'll see. Had grandparents and parents that had spoons and cookie jars. Yep. They all collected something. To boost community mood, besides a slightly greener market, we need speculation and what more? That's really it. It's just again, creativity, like what I said before with taking 100 million OMI and doing that contest. Make people, or give people a choice. You could not participate in this, or you can participate in this and win a bunch of OMI, and they get a bunch of free marketing, and they could do that every quarter. You do that every month. They have more than enough OMI. Seeing Moonbird's pump is promised. Yeah, and they're not the only ones. So I'll go to it again here, to the NFT Peresu. Over the last month, so you had Chromie Squiggle by Snowfro up 10%. You have Taproot Wizards up 21% on the month. You have Runestone, which is down 26% on the week, but up 32% on the month. You have On-Chain Monkey, which is down 27% on the day, but still up 16% on the month. You got Crypto Dick Butts up 93% in a month. Good Vibes Club, which is up 117% on the month. And yeah, Moonbirds up 107% on the week. Crypto Toads and Tomorrowland are both up 36 and 44% respectively. Kaito Genesis up 100%. So yeah, I think there's a lot to for people to like. And it says, sell in May and go away, but remember to come back in September. Sell what? NFTs, crypto? I mean, if it was, I mean, the bottom was kind of like a few months ago. And yeah, I guess the top of Bitcoin was, in May, and I guess, but ETH did a nice bounce though. Cycle is very different. To the crypto market being slow this summer and NFTs filling the gap. Yeah, that's the other thing that's probably going to wreck people. If crypto doesn't really do much this summer, you're going to get a bunch of people like sell out like they'll have the buyer's exhaustion and they'll just be like, okay, I'm done. And they put into NFTs. So, who knows if the NFT market picks up? Who knows, man? We'll see. Yeah, let's go over some of this news here that I was not able to get to. I have my eyes on Moonbirds, Doodles, Cool Cats, Goblin Town, and others. Ooh, get that bread. Get it, girl. Okay, let's move on. Elon Musk says Doge will reduce $1 trillion of waste and fraud, and it's just getting started. Nice. Oh, okay. Got it. Akomi had posted yesterday, did you know users can initiate listings on Stacker World Marketplace directly from their VeVe official account? Over 200 brands and IP using OMI to buy and sell premium licensed digital collectibles has never been easier. OMI powers where the world collects. Digital Vibe says, I got this idea from watching My Collectibles and Old Rhubarb about today's VeVe official live stream. This was yesterday. Season 10 being just around the corner. And it would be welcome to Super Season 10. So this idea is join us in the VeVe official showroom to kick off a 10th Super Season party on VeVe. What is a Season 10 coin? It's your coin to play in Season 10. Level up your coin by selling, buying, sharing, and course collecting. So basically this is, you get a coin and you can level it up by doing a bunch of stuff in the market. Very similar to the MCP challenge that they had. But like the more you buy and sell and the more you're active on the market, the higher level your coin becomes. And I think that's really cool. And think about the VeVe dioramas. Shouldn't they have made them cheaper? OMI. This is the outside of the VeVe logos. This is the first thing that they're doing. So I give them time. I think eventually, maybe on their 5th or 6th drop, that they'll probably be OMI only. But I encourage VeVe to make as much money as possible. So whatever the price point is, I can support it. I think it's fine. Oh, my back. I think this is fine. I think it's cool the way it is. Would they make more money if it? I mean, they might sell out anyway. Let's see what it is. How much has to be spent? All right, so 161 plus 5 plus. What is this? 20? Oh, okay, 202. 35,000. So it's fine. I think it's good. I think it's a good number. Not too much. No, where was I? Yeah. Spider-Man Brand New Day has announced a Hulk partnership. Hulk will be in part of that movie. I don't know if it's Professor Hulk. I don't know what's going on with it, but you have that. Speedy Comics Group and Mega join forces to launch the UAE's first grading and authentication company for trading cards, comics, and collectibles. Speedy Comics Group and Mega partner. Yeah. Shout out to my friend Rashid Al Farouk, who is leading that charge. Made it to Yahoo News as well. Thought that was pretty dope. Shout out to Fanny that minted her ticket for the NFC Summit. She's going to go to Lisbon in Portugal. I miss her. The FTX announced that it's commenced the second distribution of more than 5 billion to holders of allowed claims in the plan's convenience and non-convenience classes that have completed pre-distribution requirements. Customers should expect to receive funds within 1 to 3 business days from yesterday, so Monday through Wednesday next week, maybe Thursday, we'll see. SharpLink Gaming raises $1 billion to acquire more Ethereum. And in Shiro Nico, they had a bunch of prizes to give away. It was 25, 31, 36, $39,000 in prizes for the staking giveaway, which was nuts. And then 20 lucky cats. So it's 10, 5,000. So another 10,000. So it's actually $49,000 in giveaways for staking and stuff. That plus if you 10 random lucky cats will get. Oh, it's actually 50,000 total. So 50,000 was crazy. So anyone that got that, good for them. Good for them. Trump is increasing the steel tariffs by another 25%, going from 25% to 50%. More uncertainty is not good for the crypto markets. That was Uncle Jay. Trump says Japan wants a trade deal and we have a good relationship. Saying, well, Japan very much wants to make a trade deal. I don't think this has much to do with it, but it certainly won't hurt because we have a very good relationship with Japan. As you know, Japan is in there right now negotiating as we speak, and they want to very much make a deal. Please, let's get these deals. Let's get this bread. I'm tired, son. I'm tired. Oh yeah, Dan will be. Oh God, he's speaking. He's speaking at 12:40 p.m. on Wednesday for whoever's in whatever time that is in Portugal. So maybe like 6:40 a.m. here, and he's speaking for 15 minutes on the future of digital collecting. It says VeVe and beyond, powering the future of digital collecting, and that is. That's only a 15-minute talk. That is not a lot of time. So I don't know if he'll have time to mention OMI. He's got a lot to cover in that 15 minutes. So do not be surprised if he can't mention OMI just because of time constraints. Hunter Schafer, not sure who she is, but apparently she's going to be Zelda in the Legend of Zelda series that's coming out. Movie. Oh, that's cool. Taylor Swift revealed to fans that she now owns her entire music catalog after previously losing the rights to her masters from her first 6 studio albums, but she has them now. Good for her. BlackRock just bought $70 million worth of Ethereum. That is bullish for ETH, in my opinion. And we're at 90 minutes, so I'm going to start writing. I'll continue writing the not Pudgy Penguins. I'll continue writing the Space Penguin stuff, but let's go to crypto Twitter first, and let's kind of see what's going on here. That's an ad. Clarissa Latina says, "Tell me with a GIF what costumes I should make next month." I guess so. Obviously, she's Black Cat right there. Alicia Hardy with Spider-Man. Udabaga says she should be the Invisible Woman. That is really great. Or a tree, I guess, but that's really great. Oh, Lady Deadpool would be cool. Lady Deadpool is pretty awesome. My back. Let's see some other ones. Oh, Alita, Battle Angel. Yeah, that's good. Spidey Gwen, that's good too. Corey. God damn. Cory Booker doing that Nazi salute is nuts. What is Kokoro? Be a huge part of Ethereum. Okay, what is this? Infinity AI says Infinity Studios presents G-Pectra featuring Book of ETH, Kokoro, Black Sheep. Together with G-Pectra, we brought the Ethereum blockchain to life. Follow Wizard Pepe as a mysterious artifact gifted by Pirate Kokoro. Leads him on a journey through the world of chains, lore, and something strange. Oh, that looks cute. Oh, what's gonna happen? Is there a? I don't know if the. All right, there's a pirate ship, and then he's a wizard. Oh, he's a cute little guy. A lot of strange things. Some fortune, some to ruin. Figure out which this is. Good luck finding it. How long is this? Okay, that's pretty cool. I don't know what that is, but that's nice. Good for them. I like it when people do interesting things. Tom Bibian says giving away a free Dundee's District NFT worth $100 at 150 peeps. If he has a space, in 20 minutes. Sir Shills a lot, talking about space penguins. Aw, love that. Myron Awful says Bangladesh is gay for the UK. What? Post-COVID, successful asylum applications by migrants who claim to be gay have quadrupled in the UK. UK officials eventually figured out that game might be getting played on them. The solution is they now want gay asylum seekers to show love letters and explicit videos to prove they are really down to get it on with members of their own gender. And the officials tasked with reviewing the evidence. No disclosure required on how gratifying they might find their job. All right, so just to re-explain that, I guess in Bangladesh it's a crime to be gay, and they're seeking asylum in the UK, but obviously since the amount of gay people have quadrupled, UK officials want gay asylum seekers to show love letters and explicit videos. There's no way this is real. Gee.
Just kidding, totally straight. So it's how successful asylum claims for gay refugees.
This is on GB News.
Since the COVID, it's obviously the vaccine that's doing it. Well, it could be the vaccine, or they're putting gay juice in the water. We don't know, John.
Is this a real news?
There's millions of them. Like fewer than 500 arrivals with granted refugee orientation before the small boats. Now it's gone up to 2,133 in 2023. And people from Bangladesh claiming this have risen tenfold since 2015. So there's only two options here. Saying that this is an obvious scam and send them back. Or two, we make being gay illegal here as it is in Bangladesh. Those are the only options.
I want to get to where they're talking about the gay videos.
People who are claiming asylum for being gay must provide credible evidence that they are LGBT, such as love letters, photos, partners, or very intimate videos, which is something that's quite, you know. Do you reckon, would you fake it? Would you fake being gay on video for a passport?
And also intimate videos. I mean, aren't we stepping over the boundary of acceptability here? If we're forcing people to, you know, we're like, oh, you got to, you got
like this is real news. This is wild. Why don't we ever see a photo of the entire VeVe team or their HQ? How many people actually work at VeVe and Comey? I don't know. I mean, a lot of them work contractor, right? They don't work at like an actual place. They just work from home. I don't know if they have a Christmas party. Yeah, I don't know. Might be hard. We'll see. Maybe it's something to ask David when he's on the OMI is my homie channel. On
video. I don't we just think
oh god, on the OMI is my homie channel on June 10th. I think that's when we have him slotted for. All right, guys, that'll be it for me today. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comment. Oh, actually, we have choose your flu vaccine. Oh, Ben Rose, what are you doing? Some good copywriting. That is wild. All right. Anyway, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Ow, my back. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, my back hurts so bad.